So for those of you that have been paying attention, yesterday the U.S. Congress, well, sorry, let me start over again. Yesterday at the White House, representatives from the crypto industry and the banking industry, staff level meetings took place where they discussed the future of the Clarity Act. And President Trump and crypto czar David Sachs have been saying, listen, you guys have until March 1st. We gotta, get the ball rolling on this. They want to get it signed by President Trump by Memorial Day weekend, which is the end of May. So, for those of you that are keeping score, just to reiterate, we already have the Bank Agriculture Committee that passed their version, and right now we're waiting on the Banking Committee to pass their version so they can bring the versions together and then bring them to a final vote in the U.S. in the U.S. Senate. And then once it goes past the U.S. Senate, then it can go back to the House of Representatives, vote it on again, and then it gets sent to the president's desk. Hopefully everything goes well. So remember to like, subscribe, share this video. Sharing is caring, and feel free to comment and share your views, because when you guys share your views, I get better ideas on policy discussions in DC and how I can talk to people in power. I do some lobbying too, to make sure that these policies get passed. So right now, it seems that they're still stuck on yield. So no groundbreaking ideas came out of the conversation yesterday. What my understanding is this. What happened was the banking industry showed up. They were like, listen, we understand what you guys are doing. Let's not talk so much about the Trump family making money off of that, because that's more the legislature's duty, right? That's like, hey, we'll let Congress worry about that. We're focused on the yields. So they had a list. It was like one sheet. It was written by lawyers. You can tell it was like a really confusing banking language. But my understanding is this, that the banks are not willing to basically let the crypto companies just say, hey, have all the stable tokens you want, enjoy, make yield, and kill the banking industry. That's how they're looking at it. Remember, they're looking at it in that, hey, listen, if you guys are allowed to give customers yields, the banks cannot compete with that, because the banks, all they can do is they take your money when you have it in a savings account, they lend it out to make tons of money, and if you're lucky, they might give you a few cents, but yields on USDC and other stable tokens are going to be impressive. So what my understanding is that Tim Scott, the head of the U.S. Senate Banking Committee, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. He's saying that a good middle ground would be that the cryptocurrency companies are allowed to still continue with doing what they're doing, which is allowing yield for customers, but give an avenue for banks to also do that. Something that I've been talking to with a lot of people that I lobby with as well. So Fidelity yesterday, they launched their stable token, right? So they're able to get yield. So why can't JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, why don't they have a similar system, right? Where they host it on Ethereum or Solana, they mint tokens, and they can compete in that way, right? Instead of saying, hey, what's up, Detroit XR, Detroit 313. So instead of saying, hey guys, we're gonna just tell the cryptocurrency companies they cannot give yield, let's just say, okay, the banks can do it too, right? Fidelity token, Bank of America token, JP Morgan Chase token. In my opinion, that's the best way to go about it, is instead of trying to kill one industry, all work together and make sure that this benefits everybody. And this also helps the smaller banks as well, because it was about the community banks at the end of the day, according to Brian Armstrong and the banks. The community banks want to make sure that they also don't go under because of competition from the cryptocurrency community. And also Majorc CPMM, I'm not sure. But yeah, as it stands right now, I have a call with a few legislators in different states, and I'm going to talk to them about where the Clarity Act is right now in Congress and what they can do to basically front run. Something that's very interesting, I'm going to say right now, this is just one state, but this is Rhode Island. This is something that can go to other states. What we're working on now in policy in Rhode Island is they passed one for ATM last year, Bitcoin ATMs. Right now we're talking on a piece of legislation that actually gets rid of de minimis exemptions at the state level. So you can spend up to $5,000 in Bitcoin earnings per month, up to $20,000 per year, and you don't get any state level tax on it. If this passes in Rhode Island, I can go to other states like Michigan, Missouri, etc., and also propose something similar. And this is how it starts. First, you start with Bitcoin, then you go to altcoins, the Solanas, the XRPs of the world. A very short video today. I'm going to meet with some family and friends. Sad day, personal issues. Somebody passed away, extended family, but the cryptocurrency fight goes on, upwards and onwards.